So for the next few minutes, I'm just going to talk to you about the creative business, which is inconsequential. I happen to be in it, I happen to enjoy it, and I happen to want it to succeed, meaning that today you and I are sitting here doing what hopefully will help you and put you on the path of doing something great with your lives through creativity, through art, through design, and even if you don't, having a certain level of aptitude towards it. And in 10 years, when you have a lot of money, come buy art in my gallery. I'm going to show you some of our work, Art Center. I'm going to fly through some of it. Icon system, identity system for website, concept for the website, actual results after the client dumbed it down, or actually after the business requirements came into play. And something to keep in mind that design, if you are an artist and you think that there's artists and there's designers. Designers get paid for doing stuff for a client, and therefore it's prostitution. But you actually, it's slightly different, but I think a lot of people think I'm going to be an artist, I'm going to do what I want to do. The difference is not necessarily whether you get paid for it or not. If you're a good artist, you obviously get paid for it, but it's who represents you and how you sell yourself. White and Kennedy Tokyo for Nike. This was a DVD to influencers. That's a short piece from the intro. This is actually an interview. These guys are very articulate. That's what happens when you get DV footage with somebody that doesn't say anything and you have to put it on a DVD. But as you can see, they're very talented with those things. Identity and website for Digital Living Project, which is an initiative to help kids with digital rights management, so don't steal music. Virgin Atlantic, how do you convince somebody to spend $10,000 to go from LA to London? You show them that they have a bar and you can drink. And that you can get a massage. Jesus, let's go to the flight. Iowa World, which is an effort from Sony and Iowa in order to reach a Pan-Asian and also global community without a lot of text and just having fun. The idea of hybrid music. You can actually mix your different characters there that you see right here. This is pop music. Little banjo's country, and the racist little maraca is salsa. I'm still offended to date. I was the one who said make it maraca, but that's okay. I can do it. Again, how do you reflect an ever increasingly diverse population in the U.S. and otherwise through the work you do? Sony Connect, the competitor to iPod, the idea of capturing and expressing the joy of music throughout your life. You can see the different vignettes from her life in there. China. Stan told me to talk about this, so I put some slides in about it. And I had a realization when I went to China recently on a Nike project that, holy we're screwed. There are so many people there, and they all want your jobs, etc. I'm not trying to scare you, but they're really cool. The project here for Nike is how do you get the Chinese to play casual sports? They don't have a culture of casual sports. If you played sports, the government took you, put you in the Olympics. So these are explorations for a recent campaign. This is the final result. It was a combination of MySpace meets YouTube meets something else. And you can go and post your stories about your sports experiences. What I want to talk about, though, in context of China, is that the world is becoming smaller, and creative people are usually at the forefront of going to these worlds, not as missionaries, but specifically as the pawns of commerce in order to propagate consumerism. These are people working on the Nike account. And what I wanted to point out is that they're there, they've been working there for a while, and you can live in China if you want. The girl on the right is from Orange County, she's 23 and very cool. Guy on the left is from San Diego, he's 24. As in the US, the official fuel of creative is Red Bull. They don't have Rockstar yet, and it's in Chinese, so I didn't know it was Red Bull until somebody told me. And you can buy a $10 Rolex, which brings us to intellectual property. How do you actually control in a global environment what you create? And however, more importantly is, if we can manufacture things fairly inexpensively in Asia, etc., what is valuable from our contributions here as Americans? A hint is what we do here and what you guys are going to be doing with your careers. Of course, at the end of the day, who cares about all that? It's about friends and food and beer when you can drink, not now. Talk briefly about art. You mentioned that I had an art gallery. Yes. The idea of how does digital technology actually begin to come into the fray. You don't, raise your hand again to people that work craft people. Dorks can make art too. It's good. This is actually one of my favorite artists that we represent. His name is Osman Khan. He was a programmer before he became an artist. He went to UCLA to their DMA program. Art Center program is good too. Electric program is good. But they really have the ability to combine their experience in technology with experimentations in formal art. And what you saw there was actually a still life, and it was moving. You see it in paintings. In this case, there was a computer processing the image and actually leaving a trace of what was there. And as you pick up the food and you eat it during the opening or during the event, it actually remains, the table goes white because there's nothing on it anymore. So it's really cool. So like I said before, this is your revolution. This is not going to be your parents or the old white dudes in the boardroom that you saw in there. It's going to be up to you. And not up to you if you're a business person. It's up to everybody, obviously, but specifically what we said before, or the premise from Daniel H. Pink's book, that the creative revolution is next. Again, let's recap. What was the first revolution?
Industrial.
All right. What was the second?
Information.
And what's the third going to be?
Creative.
Yay. A little bit more time. You got to clap for that. Come on. So how do you guys get there? How do I get there? How do we all together get there? Set goals, and there's a reason why I'm saying that. In his book Goals, How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than You Ever Thought Possible, Brian Tracy talks about a research study in the mid-70s that polled graduating students from Harvard University about goals. The question being about goal setting, it was divided into 1, people that answered, having fun for the summer, I don't care, don't have any other concrete goals yet. 2, yes, I have goals, but they're just in my head. 3, yes, I have goals and I wrote them down. Fast forward 10 years later, in 1985, they caught up with the same graduates and found, it was a study that was going to take 10 years to the next time that they talked to them, and found that the group that said that they had goals, though had not written them down, made 3 times more money than those who had no goals. But here's what's amazing. The group that wrote their goals down made 10 times more than the people who made 3 times more than the original people. I'm confused, but, you know, I should probably point math, but
30 times.
It sounds good. 10 times more than 3 times is better. So how do you do that? Read the book, the Brian Tracy book. This is an example of my goal setting, and I started doing this actually recently, even though in high school I still have my list that I did in high school. And yes, it included all the things, you know, kids say, like have a motorcycle, make $100,000 by the time I'm 25. Yeah, you crazy. I actually did by the time I was 25.